Some years ago, we profiled an Italian photographer in the fashion capital of Milano. He was so taken by our South African style that he decided to pursue a career over here and now finds himself putting together portfolios to help local models break into the international market.
A former model himself, Wab Mabchut became a fashion designer, but found that his heart and real talent lay in professional photography. Top Billing teamed him up with James Souter for a shoot that would give the young boss model a head start in a tough international industry. James took the first steps towards modeling in his last year at school.
I've been told I've got the typical surfer boy image, and I think that gets me quite a few jobs. But my portfolio is not that full at the moment. I haven't been able to get that many pictures done, and hopefully I can get a variety of pictures with different styles.
An outdoor boy at heart with a love of rugby and rowing, his image is usually tousled, and by choice he's a casual dresser. What James needed was versatility.
The advice would be to try to change quite often, to understand the clients he would be going to see, to put opinions together. The booker, the photographers, the other models, depending on the markets, where you go, understand what you need.
If a model's face is his fortune, his portfolio is rather like his bank statement. Skillfully styled photographs need to show him off to big brand clients in a variety of roles.
The set card is basically the business card of the model. For someone like James, a natural shot is very, very important. It's important to show the model in his or her natural beauty.
It was Brendan Thomas's task to transform James from just a surfer boy into someone sophisticated, more mature and edgy. That takes a subtle hand.
What I try and do is I try and show how we can change a model's looks with hair and makeup. And if that can be shown in the model's card, in the model's portfolio, they will and should get more work because they are more versatile.
James has modelled with Jessica before. Their ease with each other makes for real moments on film.
One of the most difficult things is actually for a model to work with another model, whether it's a girl or a guy. Sometimes they feel embarrassed one to the other and they don't know how to interact.
Jessica has a string of modelling credits to her name, and being a Miss Teen SA finalist boosts her profile. GQ and UK magazine Dazed and Confused discovered James.
Working with Jessica is always great. I've known her for a while now, and she introduced me to modelling. And it is always much easier working with a model, you know. You feel much more comfortable in front of each other, and it just makes the environment much easier to work in.
Studio work is one thing, but Wab insists that outdoor action challenges his models. What his lens captures will be real expression that will add a new dimension.
It takes them to be familiar and get confidence in front of people in some difficult situations where they have to seem relaxed, where they have to look comfortable. And this is like a training for him.
And while motorists dodged what they must have thought was a reckless but rather well turned out jaywalker, James played the part of road thrill.
Yeah, it was pretty intimidating but fun at the same time. It's quite scary standing in the middle of the road trying to dodge cars, but I must say Wab's probably one of the best photographers I've ever worked with, because I think him being a model previously helped so much.
After a long and painstaking makeup session and a radical wardrobe switch, James and Jessica play wrong side of the tracks with an immediate new attitude. It's this kind of versatility that brings in the business.
A lot of fashion trends are taken from movies, and in this case we got inspired by the movie The Fast and the Furious. He seems to have the same kind of look as the actor.
Speaking of props, the small but perfect model sports car gets a bit part here and a leading role later. In the meantime, James is cheerful about his tougher image.
It's been a long day, but I've had a lot of fun shooting all different spots and shooting with different clothes. Nice trying out different looks as well. I've never actually had any facial hair, so it's quite nice having a bit of stubble.
Back in the studio, the photographer plays with the images and turns the street scene into a snap portrait of wealth and glamour. A preview of things to come, perhaps?
Now, in digital photography, it's very accessible. You're free to do whatever you want, whatever comes to your mind. With film, the problem was the cost, was the time waiting for the processing. So an idea used to take a long time and also a lot of money.
James, the erstwhile rugby captain and oarsman, is gone. In his place is a slightly older, more sophisticated man on the edge of a runway and a runaway career.
When I saw these photos of Wabs, I was extremely excited. I think my portfolio has gone from a kind of baby-face look to a more mature look, which I think is good. And I've also got much more variety. I've got more photos for my clients to choose from, which I think could work for me.
James leaves for Germany soon, then on to London. He plans to return to Cape Town. That's if a certain Calvin Klein doesn't see him first. The next time Top Billing jets off to New York, James Souter might be the larger-than-life figure we see on those famous Times Square billboards.